Kamal, good to see you, brother. How you doing? How you been, Kamal? Messi, good to see you as well. How you doing, brother? Tor, good to see you as well. Evening, how you doing? Today we have a lot of news to cover as well. Doing better, thanks. Let's go, Kamal. Hi, Miles. Michael, good to see you as well. How you doing? Good evening. Good to see you as well. How you doing, Michael? By the way, thanks so much to everybody that's retweeting this live show right now as well as you're joining in. Thank you so much for that. Hi, Miles, the CMF. George, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles and all CMF. How was your day? JP was good. Extremely busy, but it was good. How's your day, JP? Good to see you as well. What's up, brother Miles? The CMF. Bilal, good to see you as well. How you doing? How you been, Bilal? On tonight's live show, we do have quite a lot of things to cover as well. While everyone's tuning in one by one, I'll go through the gist of the things we're going to be talking about tonight's live show. So, Kim, good to see you as well. How you doing? Perfect time, Kim. How you been, Kim? So, on tonight's live show, there's a lot of things to cover. Now, yesterday, the live show was distracted for a little while because of a Telegram issue, but which is now fixed. So tonight, we have a lot of things to cover. So regarding Bitcoin and regarding Michael Saylor is one thing we're going to be covering on tonight's live show. We're also going to be covering news regarding Arthur Hayes, which we didn't get to do yesterday, which we'll do today. We're also going to be covering news regarding Franklin Templeton, ETFs, and Ethereum. Hence why Ethereum slightly started to move is because of Franklin Templeton's ETF. Regarding Ethereum, we're also going to be talking about Coinbase and their legal battles on tonight's live show as well. We're going to be talking about the crypto community buzz on US government. So another bank has just went downhill, which we're going to be talking about tonight's live show as well, which is a positive move for the crypto space when a bank does collapse. And we did talk about recent bank collapses if there is another one on the way. And we're going to be talking about Oklahoma. Yesterday we talked about Ohio, how they're going against President Biden regarding the regulations he's trying to put and stifle the crypto community. Oklahoma, just like Ohio, is standing up for the crypto community, interesting enough. We're also going to be talking about the head of China's CBDC, which got caught in misconduct, and that's the last thing you want to hear regarding somebody that created CBDCs or being a part of creating CBDCs and is now being looked into for misconduct and abuse of power, let's say, for example. We're also going to talk about tonight's live show regarding a CEO who has came out and said pretty much 95% of the industry is absolute garbage when it comes to cryptocurrencies. We'll go through his perspectives on the market space. We're also going to talk about Wisdom Tree on tonight's live show as well regarding their Bitcoin ETP address. We're also going to be talking about Apple and entering into the AI space. We're also going to be talking about Sam Altman, Satan Noder, and the NSA, the FBI, and everybody else that's joining together to form this one supergroup inside the United States, and how it's comparable to the crypto space. We're going to talk about how it relates to the crypto space. And we're going to talk about the central banks worldwide on rate cuts as well on tonight's live show. Quite a differentiation of topics to cover on tonight's live show to go through. So welcome everybody. Before we go through all of that, we'll do the disclaimer of the live show and then we'll look at the comment section as well. Let me not start about Black Swan again before the whole CMF do the same. Yeah, Bilal, good to see you as well. How you doing? No, the Black Swan conversation is actually relatable to some things we're going to talk about as well. But there are rumors about a possible Black Swan. Yes, there are rumors about a possible Black Swan. What's up, Miles, and what's up, CMF? Kerry, good to see you as well. How you doing? Good, thank you. Let's go, JP. Hey, Miles, how are you? I'm doing great, Yama. How you doing? Happy Pisces, good to see you as well. How you doing? Let's imagine after the case XRP hits $2 to $3, and after that the XRP price will grow based on adoption and tokenizations to a price of, let's say, $20. Imagine a black swan event crash happens, and will it affect the price of XRP, and why? I'll tell you why right after saying a disclaimer of the live show. I didn't get an answer yesterday yet. Don't worry. After I say a disclaimer of the live show, you'll be the first question I'll answer below. Good evening, Professor Miles and CMF Army. Let's go, funky brother. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Hi, Miles and CMF. Dennis, good to see you as well. How you doing? Ian, evening, Miles and family. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Miles, what have I missed so far? We just went through the gist of the things we're going to be talking about tonight's live show. Quite a mix of news to go through on tonight's live show. So, welcome to the CMF live show. If you're watching this for the first time ever, it's a live show that we talk about what's happening regarding news around the world, regarding the blockchain sector. So in general, cryptocurrency, CBDCs, and even politics is what we talk about on tonight's live show. And we also do Q&As, which means if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions you may have. The disclaimer of this live show, as always, is not financial advice, not political advice, and whatever I say is only for entertainment purposes. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is Bilow's question, and then we're going to go swiftly into the news. Now, Bilow's question was, let me not start about that part. Bilow's question was regarding this. So Bilow said inside the comment section, let's imagine after the case XRP hits $2 to $3, and after that XRP price will grow based on adoption and tokenizations to a price of, let's say, $20. Imagine a black swan crash happen. How will it affect XRP and price, and why? It will affect it because it's a crash. Obviously the entire markets will crash. Every single crypto exchange will crash if that scenario happens, for example. But the price valuation should remain the same, relatively the same, or near it, because it depends on if anybody's selling, which nobody can sell at that moment in time. So the price wouldn't really crash. It would stay relatively the same because nobody has access to any sort of sellings. The only thing people could do in that sort of scenario is hold, essentially. So that's what I would say. Below to that, the price shouldn't relatively crash in any sort of a way because nobody can sell. Now, the first news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding Michael Saylor. So he came out and said, key Bitcoin definition issued by Michael Saylor as BTC stages decline. Michael Saylor, the founder and former CEO of MicroStrategy Giant, and it's currently its chairman, has taken to X, social media network previously known as Twitter, to share a key Bitcoin message with his audience. This is yet another of his daily Bitcoin tweets accompanied by AI-generated image, but today he indeed posted a key BTC tweet. This is what Michael Saylor essentially tweeted out, saying, Bitcoin is the key, is what he tweeted out saying. Many of his followers are eagerly responding to that, providing supportive comments and confirming that from them, the world's pioneer cryptocurrency is indeed the key to the future wealth. This tweet also widely resonates with a popular crypto sentiment about storing Bitcoin and other cryptos, meaning private keys to wallets. It goes as not your keys, not your coins, is essentially what Michael Saylor is referring to. Saylor published his daily Bitcoin content simultaneously with BTC dropping by nearly 2% over the past 24 hours. As of this writing, it is changing hands at $62,890, having lost approximately $2,000 in valuation since Friday. On Friday, Michael Saylor posted a curious tweet about the mysterious Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto, thus raising an active discussion in the comments. He tweeted that Satoshi created a way, gave it away, and walked away. He posted that tweet on the day when the Ignited software engineer left his last tweet regarding Bitcoin message 13 years ago before he chose to go under the public radar. What he did was a sign that his cryptographic key before leaving his brainchild in the hands of the developers and disappearing, it seems, forever. So Michael Saylor is still trying to keep the market positive regarding Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is down 2 to 3%, not really major in my point of view at all. When crypto goes down, I preferably like it because I get to purchase more of the cryptocurrencies that I want to purchase more of. But in general, 2 to 3% down, nobody should be really down about that in any sort of a way. We're not in the stock market, we're inside the crypto markets. Crypto market, we've seen 40% swinging downwards, and the next week we're swinging back upwards, now 60%. So again, 2 to 3% on Bitcoin is not really much of a down. But I understand, he's trying to keep people motivated on particularly an asset that he's holding, and he does see a future in Bitcoin, and a lot of people do see a future in Bitcoin as well. I do see Bitcoin being around, even though it is slow and expensive. I still do see it being around without a doubt as a store of value. Not as a payment, but as a store of value. Now, to go in the comment section before we go into the next news, Miles, whatever. Nope, we already went through that one. Good evening, Miles and CMF, free and forever. Good to see you as well. How you doing? Carol, good to see you as well. How you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. How you been, Carol? Howdy, Semper. Good to see you as well. How you doing? So the price of XRP will be the same of that $20. So our XRP won't be less worth after the crash. Why? The reason why it won't, I said it'll be relatively the same, not exactly the same, but relatively the same because nobody can sell. That's why. Hello, Miles. How was your day? How are your parents? How was your business today? My day went well. Let's go, Scott. Parents do well. Thanks so much for asking, Scott. And very busy day as well. Regarding business-wise, very busy. And if a crash happens without a black swan, what about then? If a crash happens without a bank, well, we do have bank crash news to go through. Another bank has technically crashed, which we'll go through as well on tonight's live show. But we don't have to go for a black swan event for a financial change to happen. We can just have a couple of banks essentially, crashing, and then some governments inputting more CBDC, there's some regulations, and then voila, we're into a new financial system slowly. We don't have to go for a black swan event, but it's also on the agenda as well. Hello, CMF. I hope everyone had a nice day. Scott, good to Scott. Hello, Miles of CMF. Comatose, good to see you as well. How you doing? I hope when Hong Kong launches the ETFs on 30th of April, price starts to pump. I don't think it will exactly start pumping on. I think the hype will start pumping on 30th, but eventually, I would say about 2 weeks in, it will start maturing, and then we can see the money coming in from Hong Kong. I would say minimum 2 weeks in at least. Hello, Miles of CMC. How you CMF? How you doing, Coin? Good to see you as well. Okay, that's great. That means out of price of XRP will goes up and not heavy down, even by a Black Swan bullish. Let's go after Black Swan. Let's go below. Need a little lift. Funky, elaborate. So a Black Swan will not happen 100%, just rumors. Just rumors. It's a speculation is what it is regarding a Black Swan event. I know it's a key word just being thrown around right now, especially inside the crypto space regarding a Black Swan. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I am saying, it's just speculation is what it is. So it could be a possibility of an outcome, but it also could be multiple other outcomes of how they can implement CBDCs. Hello, brother. Any good news on XRP? We don't have news regarding Ripple Labs and XRP, but we do have quite a lot of other news to cover on tonight's live show regarding market movements and so many other institutions coming inside the market space. Good to see you, Abel. How you doing? Now, the next news to go through on tonight's live show is regarding Franklin Templeton. Franklin Templeton's Ethereum ETF hits DTCC. That is why we saw Ethereum slightly rise today as well. It was because of this news. Franklin Templeton's Ethereum ETF hits DTCC, hopes for SEC approval. Asset management firm Franklin Templeton has launched its Ethereum Exchange Traded Funds ETF inside the United States. Dubbed the Franklin Ethereum TR Ethereum ETF with the ticker code EZET. The Spot Ethereum ETF has been listed on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation website, a significant platform for securities transactions in the United States. The listing of the DTCC creates/redeems column indicates that the ETF is now available for creation and redemption, signaling a significant step in its operation rollout. The listing does not imply approval from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), which is still pending right now from the SEC's response. Listing on the DTCC website signifies that the ETF has completed certain registrations or compliance processes, making it eligible for trading and settlements within the DTCC systems. The final approval, however, hinges on the SEC's assessment against various regulatory standards. Franklin Templeton filed a Form S1 with the SEC in February seeking to launch a spot Ethereum ETF. If approved, it would be traded as Franklin's Ethereum ETF on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. However, in a recent update this April, the SEC announced a delay in its decision on the application, extending the review period by an additional 45 days to June 11th. Industry heavyweights including BlackRock, Grayscale, Van Eck, and ARK Invest are also contenders in the race to secure an approval for their own spot Ethereum ETFs. However, the prospects of these Ethereum-based ETFs gaining approval from the SEC appears to be different from those for spot Bitcoin ETFs, which received the green light in January. In March, Bloomberg ETFs essentially Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric assessed the likelihoods of a spot Ethereum ETF being approved in May at about 35%. He pointed out that the SEC's less proactive approach compared to Bitcoin ETF applications. Eric also mentioned that the SEC chairman Gary Gensler's view on Ethereum has a reluctance to define it explicitly as a security could influence the final outcome. Yes, that is true. Gary Gensler has still not given a green light or red light on Ethereum. However, what is interesting about this entire thing regarding Franklin Templeton and institutions, as I said, only make coordinated movements. So what's interesting is the SEC sending a Wells notice to MetaMask, essentially, or Consuls, the company behind MetaMask. And then on the other hand, we have Franklin Templeton applying for, or not applying, but even getting their name on essentially a DTCC website as the Franklin Templeton Ethereum ETF. So something on the side is brewing regarding the United States Ethereum ETFs. Something on the side is definitely brewing because we have Franklin Templeton's Ethereum ETF listed on the DTCC. But on the other side, we also have the Wells notice regarding Ethereum, related to Ethereum, but mostly related to Consuls and MetaMask. So two different sides going on right now, which is very odd. One's getting prepared to launch, and one's being looked into for suings. It's a very odd movement, but in general, institutions only do coordinated movements. So it must be something going on there regarding the DTCC, and that we might be getting closer and closer to Ethereum ETFs. Let's go for the comment section as well before we go to the next news on this live show. So Black Swan event will not happen 100%, just rumors, more speculation. But a price of a settlement only can happen by a Black Swan event, or can it happen either way? It can happen either way. What I meant is a little optimism. A little optimism. Like you said, more banks will fall, and after some CBDCs will start. But by the couple bank collapses, will it affect XRP and the market? If we have a couple of bank collapses, it will affect the crypto space in general. A lot of people would see, the crypto space as a hedge against traditional finance, and they will start running towards the crypto side. So yes, obviously, if we have bank collapses, depending on how big the bank is and where the bank is located, for example, by location, I mean, if the bank is located in the United States, then obviously it's big news, depending on how big the bank is, and more people will run towards the crypto space. If the bank collapses in some random country that doesn't really affect the financial markets, then it's not really major news, and the market might just pump for a little while. The market will pump longer, but also have pullbacks and corrections, but will pump longer if there's a bank inside the United States, the United Kingdom, or Canada, or Australia, or Japan's markets, or Saudi Arabia's markets, or United Arab Emirates, but something major, essentially. Any sort of the EU markets, a major country with a bank collapse would help boost the crypto space. It would affect the price of not just XRP based on your question, but in general the entire cryptocurrency market space. If exchanges fail, will our crypto still be there, Miles? If exchanges fail, will our crypto still be there, Miles? Good question, yes and no. Okay, the reason why I've answered your question is yes and no. If exchanges fail, our crypto is still there, yes and no. If you're holding your crypto on exchanges and the exchanges fail and collapse, then no, your crypto is not there. It's gone forever. But if you're holding your cryptocurrencies on a cold storage wallet and exchanges fail and collapse, then yes, you're okay. So as long as you're keeping your crypto safe, there could be as multiple exchanges, collapsing essentially, you're still perfectly fine. But that would also affect the price of cryptocurrencies because it puts a bad sentiment on cryptocurrencies when crypto platforms fail. So that will be bad for the price of the cryptocurrencies, but your crypto will still be there if it's on a cold storage wallet. What ETFs is Hong Kong launching on 30th, BTC or Ethereum? Both. Hong Kong is launching BTC and Ethereum ETFs on the 30th. Now, it's going to take about 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even a month for it to mature before we have a lot more money coming in from the ETFs on Hong Kong side. It won't be overnight. It has to be 1 month in to get it matured up before the money comes in. Do you think, or 2 weeks maybe, do you think there will be a settlement on Monday between Ripple versus SEC? Do I think there's going to be a settlement between Ripple and SEC Monday? Well, obviously everybody hopes there's going to be a settlement on Monday, but consider variable change is what I would say. Hey Miles, what do you think of X payment? Danny, good to see you. How you doing? What do you think of X payments? What do you think about X payments when X gets licensing for digital assets? Do you see Stellar or Ripple being the asset used to settle payments on X? Which one do I see being used on X? Based on Danny's question of Stellar or Ripple, both can be used. And the reason why I say both can be used regarding X payments is because my answer for X payments was that they're going to be accepting a wide range of cryptocurrencies. And the other way to do that is by having a platform like BitPay, for example, partner up with X. I don't think X is only going to, accept one cryptocurrency. It's an option, it's an outcome. X is either going to accept one type of cryptocurrency at the beginning and then expand later, or they're going to accept two or three, or the other option is they're going to accept a wide range of cryptocurrencies by partnering up with somebody like essentially BitPay, for example, that offers multiple crypto services, crypto payments on regarding transactions. So I think that will be much more, better option for X. And it's also because X doesn't really have any sort of digital licensing from any sort of jurisdictions. So all the X licensings so far they've applied for are for traditional finance, not really for blockchain. So right now, X, as I said yesterday as well, X is right now using Stripe because they don't have licensings for traditional finance. So X getting essentially the licenses they're getting right now is all for traditional finance. It's technically not for blockchain technology, which means they would have to go to another platform like BitPay that's similar to Stripe, essentially. So I think they're going to accept a wide range of cryptocurrencies rather than one or two, but that's still an outcome. Do you think there will be a settlement on Monday between Ripple and SSC? Well, we have to see. That's why I said I consider variable change. Good evening. So even to clear it by a black swan event, it won't affect XRP's price high. It stays almost the same and no one can sell. Second scenario, if a few banks collapse from their light by light new financial system. If a few banks collapse, does that mean move into a financial system? Is that what your question is based on? It's just, it's onto a new financial system, is what I would have to say. Not overnight type of situation. And this will affect XRP in a good way because people go into crypto. Will it affect XRP in a good way and XLM and Bitcoin and Ethereum and quite a range of cryptocurrencies will affect them in a good way if we do see bank collapses. So both scenarios are good. Yeah, pretty much. Lena, good to see you as well. How you doing? Even Miles of CMF. Jason, good to see you as well. How you doing? Thank you, Miles. Ian, no problem. Anytime. Good evening, Miles and CMF. David, good to see you as well. How you doing? What does consider a variable change mean? Consider variable change means consider multiple outcomes. In the simplest way, do you think the case in this scenario means consider multiple outcomes? Do you think the case will finish quicker now that they have a pro-crypto judge? That is true. I did report on the crypto judge. That's NetBurn. Essentially, NetBurn is going to be the one that overseen Ripple versus SEC case, which is good. I mean, she's pro-crypto. There's a higher chance of Ripple winning, which there always was a higher chance of Ripple even winning this last part. I'm paying a lot less regarding fees to the SEC. In general, Ripple always had a higher chance. It's so far 2-0 towards Ripple Labs. Yes, I do believe, there's a chance of the case going well, a lot more quicker, let's say, depending on what both sides come up with. But yes, there's a higher chance of a case closed, and there's a higher chance that even if the SEC appeals the case afterwards, of it being rejected regarding the appeal from the SEC sides. What's your view on the general crypto market next month? Bullish or bearish? What's my view on the general crypto market next month? Bullish or bearish? In between is what I have to say. But in general, good. Nothing major. I wouldn't say we're going to have major dumps in any sort of a way. I'm still on the side of bullish for the long term. Because we have more institutions day by day coming inside the crypto space. I mean, even today, Franklin Templeton, yesterday we had some banks coming inside the market space, some more institutions as well coming inside the market space. As I said, we also had, Morgan Stanley getting 15,000 brokers to enter the crypto space. They haven't, announced a deadline, but there are day by day more institutions lining up to enter the crypto space. So all of this is bullish news in general. So even if the crypto space is down 1 to 2% in the long range, we're looking absolutely bullish. Hi, Miles and family. Troy, good to see you. How you doing? Hello, Miles and CMF. Peg, good to see you. How you doing? I mean, first scenario of a black swan is bullish for us, but it won't affect XRP in a bad was by the event. Second scenario is bullish because little by little CBDCs and banks fall, XRP will rise. Yes, not all banks, as I explained. A lot of banks have blockchain partners, so they won't fail. The only banks that will fail is the ones that don't have blockchain partners, essentially. So HSBC won't fail because they have a blockchain partner. Santander won't fail. Barclays won't fail. NatWest won't fail. Bank of Scotland won't fail. JP Morgan won't fail because all of these banks, Standard Chartered, won't fail. All of these banks are essentially have blockchain partnerships. And obviously you have the brother banks and the sister banks, which is a term that's used in business where the brother banks are the bigger banks and the sister banks are named something different, but they're still a part of the other major bank. And if the major bank, the brother bank, has blockchain partnerships, then the sister banks are also covered under that blockchain partnership. But any sort of bank that does not have partnerships with blockchain space in general are the ones to look out for the collapse in general. That reason I said by flip the switch and black swan in both scenarios good. Yeah. Can the SEC appeal? Yes, the SEC can appeal. The SEC can't appeal now, obviously. There's no appealing going on now. They're not allowed to. Nobody's allowed to appeal right now because the appeals will get rejected straight away. So the case has to come to some sort of a resolution of somebody has to pay this much. And then if either party wants to appeal, they can appeal the case. Hi, Miles of CMF. XRP then, good to see you as well. How you doing? Can the SEC appeal the XRP not being a security? Can the SEC appeal the XRP not being a security? They can, but they won't. And they technically can't actually either. Because what was said in one of the cases was that nobody can appeal so far while there's a pending case going on. So since there's a pending case going on, nobody's allowed to appeal the case until the pending case, which is this one that's going on right now, finishes and comes to a resolution of some sort, a result of some sort, and then anybody can appeal whatever part of the case they want. Now, the chance of the SEC appealing the securities aspects of XRP, it's a failing matter because it won't be approved in any sort of a way. So even if the SEC thinks they can appeal, XRP as a security still in their point of view, it wouldn't pass in any sort of, and I don't think the SEC wants to go down that route either, because the Coinbase case that's still going on as well. Inside the Coinbase case, the judge actually declared that secondary market sales are not securities. So even inside the Coinbase case, the judge declared secondary sales are not securities. Therefore, XRP is still on secondary markets, not securities. So the chances of the SEC appealing that result of that part of the XRP case makes zero sense, and is a waste of money and a waste of time for them. Because even in the Coinbase case, secondary sales, not a security. And this case was the first one of not a security on secondary sales. So there's no point in them appealing either way. And they can't appeal for the time being since there's a pending case going on. Miles, when are we going to have a proper bull run? Is it more towards the end of the year or next year? We're in it. It's just moving very, very slow. Day by day, we have more institutions coming into play. Is there a third scenario, or will it happen 100%, one out of the two scenarios? There's more scenarios on the table. There's more outcomes on the table. What I meant, Brother Miles, is that we need some kind of good news on cryptos, not just depressing. Well, the good news was regarding Franklin Templeton to go through it, but also we have good news to go through. Don't worry, we have so much news to go through on tonight's live show. But Funky Brother just answering. Funky Brother was just answering essentially Billow's questions. What up, Miles and CMF? Ray, good to see you. How you doing? Bank collapses, Black Swan. Well, bank collapses are actually not bad news. They're actually good news in general. And Black Swan is also good news. It depends on how you look at it. But Black Swan, it's an outcome that might or might not happen. It's a speculation outcome. And the bank collapses are actually good news. Depends on how you look at it, because with every single bank failure, crypto market becomes a hedge against it. Shelly, good to see you as well. Morning, Miles family. Good to see you as well, Shelly. How you doing? Woodhouse, good to see you as well. How you doing? What are the other scenarios, but apart from Black Swan and the other ones? There are multiple scenarios, which we'll go through as well after we go through this news. At least the judge recognizes the value of XRP as a currency and also as a utility that distinguishes from BTC and Ethereum. Yes. Now, next news to go through on tonight's live show is this. Coinbase legal battle. impacts millions of crypto owners. Coinbase's chief legal officer, CLO Paul, emphasizes that the dispute with the US financial regulator affects not just the company but directly impacts 52 million American crypto owners. Paul expressed his essentially appreciation for the individuals and institutions supporting Coinbase during the critical period. That is correct. Quite a lot of people have came out essentially and started, helping Coinbase. We've had, John Deaton coming out, even Ripple lawyers coming out and giving their opinions on the matter. But a lot of people trying to help Coinbase battle out the SEC. Coinbase executives highlight key supporters. One key figure Paul particularly highlighted is attorney John Deaton. Deaton played a crucial role in the Coinbase legal battle against the US Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and was a part of the exchange's defense team. Paul acknowledged Deaton's contributions, emphasizing the importance of support within the crypto community for Coinbase. The crypto exchange Coinbase defense is bolstered by the support of the Blockchain Association. The association stood by Coinbase against the SEC, acting as a collective voice for the crypto industry. This support is crucial not only for Coinbase's current situation, but also in clarifying the legal status of the crypto assets in general. Significant contributions to the crypto space. Attorney John Deaton's involvement shows that Coinbase's case transcends being just about one company and becomes a broader goal for the crypto industry. Deaton, who had previously played an effective role in Ripple Labs' conflict with the SEC, is considered a reassuring figure for the market participants. His support for Coinbase strengthens the crypto community and contributes to the legitimacy of crypto asset companies. What John Deaton is doing is good also because he obviously wants to go inside politics, and by helping out Coinbase does help his edge on politics as well. Coinbase disputes with the SEC is not seen only as a legal battle, but also as a moment that could shape the future of the crypto industry. The company continues to seek legal remedies by filing a temporary appeal in the Second Circuit. This interim appeal decision will be significant developments in the case and will play an influential role in the industry. Deaton and entities like Blockchain Association bolster the company's defense. On the other hand, such discussions are also an important step towards resolving uncertainties regarding the legal status of the crypto space. Yes, Coinbase case is definitely going to be revolutionary for the crypto space because Coinbase is a major crypto platform, and if they get the clarity and regulatory they need, then obviously there's going to be certain rules and regulations set forward after the Coinbase case. Two cases definitely do play a major role inside the crypto space. One, Ripple case, it definitely plays a major role for the entire crypto market. And two, Coinbase case definitely does play a role for the entire crypto market. Yes, that is true. And it's good to see that the crypto community is coming together. Blockchain Association, John Deaton, so all essentially they're all teaming up against the SEC. It's nice to see this. Gary Gensler being teamed up on. Now, next news to go from tonight's live show is this: crypto community buzzes as U.S. government seizes Republic First Bank. The shutdown of the Republic First Bank of Philadelphia by the federal regulator has entered history as the first setback experienced by the U.S. banking sector in 2024. The Pennsylvania Department of Banking and Securities stepped down and seized the bank on April 26. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation (FDIC) will be managing nearly all the bank's $4 billion in deposits and its $6 billion in total assets. After the closure, 32 branches of the Republic First Bank in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York reopened as branches of Fulton Bank starting on April 27th. With the interest rates going up and the commercial real estate market being a bit unpredictable, this transformation is a part of a bigger plan to make the regional bank more stable. Failure of traditional banks, a wake-up call to crypto assets. The failure of the Philadelphia-based bank has caused quite a stir, not only in the banking community, but also in the crypto world. Crypto enthusiasts are giving out their opinions of how they think the market is playing out. Some have shared some thoughts about the current situation, and their sentiments is gearing people to see that the bank's failures as a big opportunity for digital assets. It's quite interesting to note the timing of the Philadelphia-based bank collapse, as other regional lenders like Silicon Valley Bank, Silvergate Bank, and also some other banks that struggled with some similar challenges in the past, which has put the struggles of the sector on the spotlight. It is said to believe that the pandemic has had a significant impact, causing commercial real estate vacancy rates to rise and making loan refinancing more difficult. Will bank failure spark a crypto surge? While it has been a tough time for the banking industry, the cryptocurrency market has given a mixed reaction after the disclosure of the event. According to CMC, essentially CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin dipped by 1.1%, trading at $62,000 plus, and Ethereum dropped by 0.58%, trading at $3,000 plus. Altcoins like Dogecoin and Solana experienced significant steeper declines, with decreases of 2.88% and 1.79% as well. The bank failure is a big test for the FDIC's insurance fund, costing $667 million. It highlights vulnerabilities in certain sectors of the banking industry. Also, FDIC's quick response and acquisition by Fulton Bank show a strong regulatory framework. Some in the crypto community think repeated failures in traditional banking could drive interest in the cryptocurrency space. So yes, we did have another major bank collapse. 32 branches are about to be changed into a whole new bank. So another bank has essentially swiped away one whole entire corporation, let's say. 32 branches are going to be rebranded to a whole new bank, and the previous bank is pretty much collapsed. So we did have another bank failure inside the United States right now, which is slightly major news, but isn't being publicized too much. And it should be. Now, before we go to other news, let's go to the comment section as well to see if anybody has any questions. What are the other? A lot of scenarios. We're going black. So, and here we go. Okay, brother, I'm interested in the other scenarios. I'll definitely tell it to you. Hi, Miles. I'll tell you in 5-10 minutes. Hi, Miles and CMF. What up, Miles? Loft, good to see you as well. How you doing? Even Miles and CMF. Pierce, good to see you as well. How you doing? What happens to the people who had money in that bank who collapse? If you hold your money inside of a bank that collapses, then that bank is typically insured by a government entity. So, for example, inside the United Kingdom, the bank is regulated and essentially backed by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority. However, in the UK, you're only backed up to 75,000 or 65,000. Essentially, I think £75,000 you're backed up until to. So let's say if you have £1 million inside the British bank account, and that bank goes essentially bankrupt, and it collapses, let's say, for example, you're only covered up to 75,000 essentially British pounds, even if you had £1 million inside a bank account. You're never going to see the rest of your money ever again. Now, inside the United States, it was somewhere about 250,000 if it's a business. That was a public account. I would have to look up the exact amounts, but I know if it's a business account, it's about 250,000 you're covered up to. The reason why we know this is because of Silicon Valley crash, that we know that you're covered up to 250,000. However, the chances of you ever seeing that money is definitely not going to be overnight. It's going to be maybe a few years, let's say, or more than a month. 85,000. Thank you so much, Frankie Potter, for that. 85,000 British pounds is what you're covered up to regarding the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority inside the United Kingdom. So, if you have £1 million in a British bank account and the bank goes collapsing, chapter 15, chapter 11, whatever chapter it does fell out, essentially on a bankruptcy court, you're ever going to see only £85,000 of your British pounds. You're never going to see the rest of your money in your bank account. Which is good for people who are holding less than £85,000. But if you're holding more than £85,000, you're never going to see the rest of your money. What does with his live free public service is amazing. I'm tackling some personal health issues. Hope to get back to listening to every live soon. I pray I can finally conquer my daily pain. Let's go, Loft. Thank you so much for the kind words, and I hope you do better, brother. Hope you're doing better. You froze. What bank was it? And what bank was it? Republic First Bank. Republic First Bank is about to be shutting down inside the United States. Republic First Bank. Had a fallout with my mirror and reflection because they are not supporting as people talking. I'm taking half of my pain, so I threw the mirror and my reflection out. I won. Let's go, Loft. Now, the next news to also go through on tonight's live show is regarding Oklahoma. So yesterday we talked about essentially Ohio going against Sleepy Joe, and Sleepy Joe wants to introduce a massive tax on a tax gain essentially at 44%, but he also wants to introduce taxes on crypto mining industries. Quite a relatively high crypto tax, 30% is what we're talking about regarding Sleepy Joe. Now, Ohio did reject this idea yesterday, and today we have Oklahoma also rejecting Sleepy Joe and trying to keep crypto safe. Interesting enough. So, this is the news. Oklahoma takes a bold step in cryptocurrency laws and mining initiatives. Oklahoma has recently passed a significant law that enhances digital transformation within the state and strengthens the protection of Bitcoin ownership rights. This legislative move positions Oklahoma at the forefront of the states advocating for the security of individual crypto assets amidst a rapidly changing tech landscape. Do you know what's interesting? How Ohio has made some rules about the crypto space, or Oklahoma has made some rules about the crypto space. Even Texas has made some rules about the crypto space. Gary Gensler, that waste of space, essentially, waste of oxygen, Mr. Gary Gensler, or Weasel Gary Gensler, hasn't made even one single rule for the crypto space. But we have, random politicians from Oklahoma making regulations for the crypto space, trying to make it safe, or Ohio politicians trying to make it safe, even Texas politicians trying to make the crypto space safe. But that weasel Gary Gensler, not a single rules and regulation has popped out of him yet. So Oklahoma has recently passed a significant law that enhances digital transformations within the state and strengthens the protection of Bitcoin ownerships on rights. This legislative position in Oklahoma at the forefront of states advocating for security of individual crypto assets. Regarding how fast the crypto space is moving, as cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin gain prominence and the necessities for a clear and effective regulatory frameworks has become more apparent. Oklahoma is setting a precedent by enacting laws aimed at safeguarding the rights of cryptocurrency users. This includes the right to self-store, the right to mine cryptocurrencies, the right to trade these digital assets securely and independently. Dennis Porter, a key supporter from the Satoshi Action Fund, emphasizes that the state's new laws not only secures individual rights, but it also suggests that Bitcoin mining could enhance environmental sustainability and boost local economic growth. Again, these are random politicians coming out of Oklahoma, Ohio, and Texas bringing out regulations on how to keep your cryptocurrency safe, that your crypto is yours, the right to trade, the right to sell, the right to keep, the right to do this and that, to mine Bitcoin, and so on, and lower taxes, or so on and so on. And then you have, Weasel Gary Gensler, who hasn't came out with one rule so far. All he does is go around and sue everybody pretty much into the ground. And, he's never won a case in his entire life. So far, major cases inside of crypto space, he hasn't won one. Not even Binance case. The CFTC had to win the Binance case. Gary Gensler is still battling Binance. Nobody knows for what reason, because Binance is paying $4 billion. The CEO left, has pleaded guilty, paying $50 million. We don't know, and there's more government entities inside Binance than now compared to before. And they have two new CEOs, one from the World Economic Forum for normal Binance and one from the World Economic Forum for the US Binance. So we don't really know what Gary Gensler is really battling Binance for still. The CFTC already did his job for him. Now, and the interesting part was Binance was the first one to go after, the SEC was the first one to go after Binance, but the CFTC stepped in and case closed. Challenges and uncertainties in the crypto regulations. Despite Oklahoma's forward-thinking approach, the broader landscape of cryptocurrency regulations in the United States remains fraught with challenges. Recent regulatory actions, including stringent measures by figures such as Senator Elizabeth Warren and legal actions against entities like Samurai Wallet, underscores the ongoing volatility and regulatory scrutiny facing the sector. These developments create a climate of uncertainty that could complicate future legislation efforts similar to Oklahoma's. Yes, just because there are a couple of bad actors inside the crypto space, it does not mean the entire crypto space is full of bad actors. Okay, so for example, we've had multiple cartels and mafia families and so on, and the list goes on of how many people use fiat currencies. We shouldn't be discouraged on fiat currencies in that same manner. And just because of a couple of bad actors inside the crypto space, it doesn't mean the entire crypto space is full of bad actors. So trying to, compare 1 or 2 or even 10 incidents for an entire community of people is wrong, because the same ideology could be played on dollars. Imagine the amount of dollars that's being used for war and any other sort of illicit activities around the world. Should we be discouraging using the US dollar? No, because you can't play the same ideology on either party of saying just because these people are selling weaponry using the US dollar, everybody else falls under that illicit activities. No, some people are using US dollars to pay rent and buy food, and some people are using it to sell weaponry. Same scenario for crypto. Some people are using crypto to pay their mortgages off, and some people are using crypto for illicit activities. It does not mean everybody falls under the same category, essentially is what I'm trying to say. So Elizabeth Warren always tries to throw everybody under the same category. Just because there's a few bad actors She says the entire crypto space is bad. She's an absolute moron with the brain cells of a goldfish, she shares, if I'm not mistaken. Now, so she has been making quite a lot of speeches on the crypto space, and she does use bad data as well. The World Economic, essentially, the last data she used was from the Wall Street Journal. Now, the Wall Street Journal, as it is as reliable as the Nigerian prince emails you would get. Everybody remember those scams you would get, the Nigerian prince emails you would get? There's a Nigerian prince, he wants to send you $10 million. Elizabeth Warren's data source is as reliable as that. She used the article from the Wall Street Journal suggesting that 80% of the crypto space is pretty much inside of illicit activities. And she used that in Congress and showed it to everybody. See, the Wall Street Journal is saying, 80% of the crypto space is fully in illicit activities. Essentially, is what she said. And then we also have, obviously, the blockchain space is public. So chain analysts, which essentially goes through the blockchain space and finds out what asset is being used for what, or what wallet is being essentially used for what. So chain analysts did a little report study and found out about 0.8% of the crypto space is actually being used for illicit activities. So then they contacted the Wall Street Journal and said, hey, your information is wrong. The blockchain space is public, so maybe you want to change it. The Wall Street Journal changed the article, but guess what Elizabeth Warren did? She still used the old article because she couldn't even apologize, first of all, and say, I was wrong. And second, she didn't have the decency to drop that article, but she still goes around and carries the previous old article that suggests the crypto space is full of illicit activities, when it isn't. It's a public blockchain, but obviously she essentially, as I said previously, shares the exact same brain cells with a goldfish and thinks she could use data, first of all, that is completely wrong. That's why I say, the Wall Street Journal, it's not the first time the Wall Street Journal has been making up articles as they go along, especially for the crypto space. I don't know why a lot of people don't understand that crypto is public. Okay, politicians need to get it through their heads that the crypto space is public. You can't play your same dirty tricks that you play on dollars or any other currency and say, well, this currency is being used for that and that currency for that. You can't play your same dirty tricks because it's public. We can see where the transactions are going. We have many firms like Chain Analyst or Orcam who go after wallets and find out where those payments are being used. So you can't use those exact same tricks that we're using in politics before on the blockchain space because it's public. So stop lying to yourself and stop lying to the people. Now, to go on even more, Oklahoma's apparent energy sources presents a unique opportunities for Bitcoin mining. The state's capacity to harness energy from wind farms and mitigate essentially methane gases from unused oil wells provides a lucrative avenue for generating revenue through environmentally friendly practices. Now, Oklahoma is obviously leading the way for Bitcoin, essentially trying to bring that in. Essentially trying to get some free electricity coming out of Bitcoin because there are ways that you can actually benefit from Bitcoin mining. Now, recently I revealed that Jack Dorsey, who owns the Block company, is going to be doing cryptocurrency minings in some African countries, and how they're going to be doing it is by using volcano power. And also by using volcano power, first of all, sustainable. Second of all, they're going to be providing free Wi-Fi, free internet, or free electricity for local communities within those African countries that where they place the Bitcoin mining institute, the Bitcoin mining machines next to volcanoes to use that volcano power. Essentially, they're going to be providing free electricity, free Wi-Fi for those African, communities that are nearby, which I think is great. One, is free. They're mining Bitcoin on free electricity. Two, they're providing free electricity and Wi-Fi for local towns, essentially, or small amount of communities, which I think is great, which is the exact same concept they're trying to be using Oklahoma right now. Moreover, such initiatives encouraging investments in local electronic infrastructures, particularly benefiting rural communities and bolstering employment as well. Implementations for the reader. Oklahoma's legislation may serve as a model for other states considering similar proactive measures for cryptocurrency users. The state's approach highlights the potential environmental benefits integrating Bitcoin mining with existing energy resources. Investors and stakeholders in the cryptocurrency sector should monitor such developments as they may influence essentially future investments and regulatory responses. Oklahoma's legislative advancements in cryptocurrency regulations and mining reflect a significant step towards integrating digital assets regarding securities within legal frameworks. While this marks a promising development for the cryptocurrency essentially space, ongoing regulatory uncertainties suggest that vigilance and strategic planning will be crucial for navigating future challenges in this dynamic sector. So today was Oklahoma coming out with their response on protecting people regarding crypto assets and bringing some rules and regulations in. Yesterday we had Ohio doing the exact same things. Now, so far, Ohio, Oklahoma, and Texas are completely going against Sleepy Joe and regarding his taxations on cryptocurrency mining as well. Now, before we go to the next news, let's go for the comment section as well. By the way, if you're watching this for the first time ever and you don't know what this is and what I'm talking about, this is called the CMF live show that I do every single night. This is episode 40 that you're watching right now. And we talk about cryptocurrencies, blockchain in general. So cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, and politics, because they all play into one. And we do Q&As as well, which means if you have any questions, put it down inside the comment sections. I will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. And this is episode 40. Right now, we are live on X and YouTube at the same time. And I do this live show every single night. So welcome to the CMF live show. If you're watching it for the first time ever, if you have any questions, put it down in the comment section. Or, here we go. The next question to go through on tonight's live show is this. Or if you go bankrupt, they will give your money back in CBDCs. Or if you go bankrupt, they will give you money back in CBDCs. That wouldn't be too good. FDIC in the United States insured 250,000, so I was correct regarding 250,000. Thank you for that, Carol. Grumpy here, Miles. Let's go. Grumpy, good to see you as well. How you been? The UK will be taxing us a fresh air soon. It's the only thing left to tax. The UK regarding taxing people on oxygen is actually something that's already happening. So about COVID times, so around 2020, a little bit before 2020, inside the United Kingdom, somebody by the name of Rishi Sunak, who is now the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So back then, Rishi Sunak was not the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And he suggested that we should be charging everybody £2 a day, £2 a day, for anybody living inside London because they are paying for clean air. Is what Rishi Sunak suggested back in 2020. Before 2020 is what he suggested. That everybody in London should be charged £2 for clean air. Which was the dumbest idea he ever came up with. Now, fast forward to ULEZ and LEZ. We are technically paying for oxygen, essentially. We are being taxed for oxygen regarding ULEZ and LEZ. They just changed the name. Instead of saying, you're getting charged for oxygen, they said it's called LEZ or ULEZ. It's the same thing. You're paying for oxygen, essentially is what it is. So regarding, the only thing that's left is to tax you for oxygen. You're already paying tax for oxygen, depending on the vehicle you're driving. Air tax. So already happening. And the UK is not the only country with ULEZ and LEZ. A lot of countries are essentially, doing essentially green zones, ULEZ, LEZ, and so on. You're paying for clean air, is what you're doing essentially. So you're technically paying for oxygen. You're getting taxed for oxygen. They just changed the name. Air taxes. Republic of Benin. Good vibes. Let's go, Ian. Miles, are you talking about Gary Gensler's missus? Yes, Elizabeth Warren. You're froze for a minute. Let's go, Troy. I'm back now. Miles, you said it can happen in other scenarios apart from Black Swan and banks could collapse little by little. Which other scenarios? Well, a Black Swan event can be relatable to bank collapses of a Black Swan. It could be an internet collapse or electric collapse as well. There's multiple scenarios on the table. They're all speculation, to be fair. And why? They're all speculation. As you always, consider multiple outcomes. Never consider one outcome and just think the market, or essentially the market in general, is going to be going towards only one outcome. You should always weigh out multiple outcomes, just to be ahead. When is those three cryptos binding? When are those three cryptos binding? We're not that far off. If you're talking about AJX, Fetch AI, and Ocean Protocol, we're not that far off. They're going to be launching 25th of May, if I'm not mistaken. The last time they made an announcement was, they said 25th of next month is what they said, essentially. Are you joking, Miles? XLB? No, not joking at all. Or merging. Which scenarios you honestly think that will be most likely to happen and why? I think they will shift us into CBDCs rather than... they could do a Black Swan. I mean, the oldest trick in the book is introduce a problem, then create this, essentially create a problem and then introduce a solution is the oldest trick in the book. You create a problem and then you introduce a solution is a method that works. The method of panic always works on regular folks. It always works. COVID was a great example where we saw regular people, you know, absolutely going crazy and forcing other people to get vaccinations, forcing other people to do this and that, and there was probably family members forcing other. It just shows the level of brainwashing that was essentially going on at those times. And create a problem, introduce a solution, and the solution was that the vaccination, which a lot of people fell for their trick and a lot of people didn't. But the ideology that the government cares about you is a funny one. The government doesn't care about you. I mean, food prices, rent prices, mortgage prices, they don't care about you. In general, you're just another worker for them, essentially. But even inside the World Economic Forum, just to put it in perspective, even inside the World Economic Forum, what they talked about was this. So 2024 World Economic Forum, the Dutch princess, she talked to the Dutch royal family, essentially. She talked about how she was building social credit systems and CBDC wallets with the Bill Gates Melinda Foundation. So the Bill Gates Melinda Foundation and the Dutch princess essentially have this thing going on for over 10 years now, building CBDC, designing CBDC wallets, coding it out, let's say, CBDC wallets and social credit systems that attach themselves together with the Bill Gates Melinda Foundation and the Dutch princess. And she did make a speech referencing to how COVID was the first step of a digital passport to see how many people would sign up to the idea of a digital passport. So it's like steps to get people into it, essentially. And that was what they said inside the World Economic Forum. And again, nobody listens to the World Economic Forum from the public sector, because everybody's too focused on their favorite Netflix TV shows or what comes out on what movies comes out, so on. Nobody watches the World Economic Forum. If they did, they will be more aware of what they're planning and what's next, essentially. And I said this previously as well. Make the World Economic Forum your favorite TV show, your favorite movie when the episodes come out. Instead of watching useless content that's not going to be beneficial for you in the long run at all. Now, here we go. Let's go to the comment section as well. Again, let's see what questions are. And by the way, I'm reading everybody's questions one by one as I give a response. Bristol, here we go. Bristol and Wales have clean air tax too. But if electricity collapses, a bank collapse or something else, can utilize affect XRP price heavy downstairs, and why? It can, yes. So there was a company that signed up with essentially Ripple Labs. Apologies about that. There was a company that signed up with Ripple Labs a while ago, where they have this geostorm effect going on also. If there's any sort of black swan type of events, this company is involved in. Not as in they will do it, but as in the software they developed makes anything aware that that's going to be happening, essentially. Now, they're designing smart contracts that can trigger CBDC, money, essentially, offline CBDC money. So they're designing smart contracts that can trigger offline CBDC payments if there ever is a major crisis around the world, is what they're doing. Now, that company does work with Ripple, and it was a while ago they started working with them. I read this, a couple of countries have announced they are no longer trying their currency. Brian, elaborate. Regarding their own currency or US dollars? Good evening, Miles. I'm on CMF. How is everyone doing today? Iman, I'm doing great. How you doing? Onshore, my last post went through. Foxy Lady has been a big influence as yourself and other CMF. I believe Miles is destined and leading us to success. Good night from Grumpy. Grumpy, good night, brother. See you tomorrow, same timing as usual. Thank you for the kind words. Create a problem and then implement the solution. Yep. Problem, reaction, solution. It's the easiest method to get anybody inside of anything. To the US currencies, I forgot which countries. Any info on that? They're moving away from the US countries, or they're going towards the US currency. moving away or going towards US currency. Britain has the biggest bills in Europe, with Ireland a close second. After May 6th, with Ripple case, some saying we have to wait until August/September for Judge Torres to hand down her findings. So we still have a while to go then, unless there was a settlement prior. Well, nobody knows how long the judge is going to be taking to, hand over their files. Nobody knows. Judges can take weeks, judges can take months, judges can take days. It depends on her and how fast she wants to move the files down. So it's a guess when people say August/September. Essentially, it's a guess when people say that. Just for a perspective, for example, regarding as a guess, the TikTok situation. Everybody thought the TikTok situation will take, months upon months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, whatever, until the next stage comes around for the signings to be looked into and so on. And they passed the TikTok bill within seconds. But everybody assumed the TikTok bill was going to be 6 months prior, or 6 months after that, or 9 months after that. But TikTok bill passed within seconds. Obviously, it's not over for TikTok yet, but as in the time-wise, I'm saying in that perspective. So you never know how fast or how slow a judge can work. Have a good one, brother. Let's go. Many people starting having a health issue after having a vaccine, like back pain, muscle, regular headache, and knee issues. Very, very true. And how I know that's very, very true is regarding what Shozone said, many people started having issues after having a vaccine, like back pain, muscle, regular headaches, and knee issues, and so on. Yes, there is. I'm saying true from a personal perspective, not for me. That's happened. I didn't get the vaccine, but I'm not going to talk about who this person is, but it's a family member, and this particular family member was a very fit person. As in, he has a job that involves exercise essentially, and he was a very fit person. In terms of weight, perfect. He was never, obese, fat, or anything, and you could say he was a healthy person, essentially. After the vaccine, he went from a healthy person to a diabetic person, and he's a very close family friend. And he went from being a healthy person, who his job related to fitness, and now he has diabetes. How? Nobody knows. But he was a healthy up until the vaccine, and about 2 months after the vaccine, he started causing some symptoms. He got checked out, he has diabetes. Now, you could say unrelated, or you could say coincidence, you could say whatever you want, but he was a healthy person, never had any health problems in his entire lifetime at all. He's a very old person as well, not incredibly old, but an older person. But healthy. Never had a disease or anything his entire lifetime. And then suddenly, diabetes after the vaccine, about 2 months in. Tories has 9 months to judge. Yeah. One guy said by a Black Swan event, he will buy from there because the price going very low. But I told him that it won't affect XRP and the rest of the market. Do you think the scenario will happen that a Black Swan buy the price go drastically downwards, or the same price until the new financial system and then boom? And why? Okay, do I think the scenario will happen with Black Swan? As I said, Black Swan speculation, not confirmed in any sort of a way. And the price going up also, yes, is a scenario of that, yes. If it does happen, yes. I'm the greatest world leader was killed because he wanted to move to the Euros. Yes, that's true. Miles, did you not read my last message, Funky Brother? Which one? Bill, but try to be more positive instead of worrying about things that have not happened. Ah, that one. And the world stood by and watched. Again, August, September. Yes, I did read your Funky Brother. I just read your previous message. August, September, too far for a final judgment or realistic timeline. It's a realistic one, but it could be sooner as well. This is sad, Miles. Any more news on Crypto Queen's Netflix documentary? No news on Crypto Queen's documentary regarding that, but we do have a lot of news to go through regarding this, okay? So, a lot of news to still cover on tonight's live show. Moving on to this one. One of the most talked about but then forgotten about altcoin founders said 95% of the industry is garbage. Now, these are his exact words, not mine. praised his own token. Dominic Williams, the founder of Dfinity Foundation and its chief scientist, recently expressed concerns about the current state of the crypto and blockchain industry. Williams, who has been working in this field for nearly a decade, is particularly critical of what perceives as tendencies to invest in fake miracle medicine, which he calls snake oil. Now, the reason why he's calling some crypto assets snake oil is because of this. Now, everybody's also got this idea of, 95% of crypto space is going to be going away, and you want to be in essentially legitimate crypto projects, especially when you have institutions coming into the play, which means a lot of money is going to be coming towards those projects. The concept of this is why he calls it snake oil regarding the crypto projects that are useless. The concept of snake oil is generally used as medicines without their medical value or properties being proven by scientific tests. People are actually investing in snake oil. They're saying, I'm going to invest in whoever has the best snake oil because they have better marketing. What he's referring to is regarding the snake oil scenario, the analogy that he's giving to cryptocurrencies with snake oil of, people that go towards crypto projects with the best marketing. They're not really, going towards utility, which is true, but also how you should think about it. So a lot of crypto projects, instead of actually creating a utility, they would rather, try to get money out of you any way they can. They would, buy promotions, they would buy billboards, they would try to sponsor events, and so on. So they would do everything they can to get money out of you and not spend a single minute or single penny on actual developments. There is a lot of crypto projects inside the crypto space that will do everything they can within their power to put themselves on billboards. I've seen a lot of crypto projects do it, and it's big major news, and it shouldn't really be in any sort of a way. When crypto projects go to New York, essentially in the middle of New York, they get billboards and say, oh, this random meme coin has just brought a billboard in New York. This is massive. It really isn't. That hype will last about 15 minutes inside the crypto space before it dies out. So they will do everything in their. That's what the analogy is trying to make. These random crypto projects, especially the ones that have no utility, they will do everything they can to squeeze every last penny out of you by putting this shiny picture in front of you. They will do everything they can except build real utility or give you real utility or provide real utility for institutions. But they will do everything they can on marketing and making themselves look cute and in front of your face, essentially, is what he's referring to regarding snake oil. DeFi Foundation, a non-profit organization headquartered in Switzerland, is the main supporter of the Internet Computer Protocol. However, Williams said the following about the cryptocurrency industry in general. Obviously, there is a lot of garbage. 95% of the blockchains on the market are garbage, and they are just selling snake oil. That's the analogy he gave. While Williams acknowledges the utility of blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, XRP, and so on, he thinks people don't fully understand their limitations in building a scalable, cost, and time-efficient internet. He argues that the Internet Computer Protocol, which he describes as the only third-generation blockchain, has the potential to power a new era of eternity on-chain online interactions. William argues that while some popular blockchains are effective in processing transactions, they are not capable of forming the basis of a completely new decentralized internet that will be widely adopted by mainstream users. True. Very, very true regarding what he's saying. Regarding the snake oil scenario, definitely true. There's a lot of crypto projects out there that honestly try to squeeze every last penny out of you or every last cent out of you by creating these colorful posters. And that's all they are, just colorful posters and about 15 seconds of fame before the market dies out on the project. Very, very true. Now, next news to go from tonight's live shows regarding Arkham. Now, Arkham obviously has members from the NSA. Now, Arkham is a platform essentially that goes after crypto wallets and tries to recognize what crypto wallet belongs to what institution or to whom. Now, Arkham has members from the NSA, the CIA, and some FBI members, essentially. And this is what they did. Arkham Intel identifies wallets for Wisdom Tree's Bitcoin ETP. Arkham Intel was able to identify the wallets that belong to Wisdom Tree's Bitcoin ETP. So we can track exactly how much Bitcoins they are storing. Major, because we wanted to know exactly how much essentially institutions are holding on regarding their Bitcoins or any other crypto assets they have. So it's good to have somebody like Arkham in the play. Arkham Intel, because some institutions will come in the news and say, we're not interested in crypto, we never have, we never will. But then if we track their wallets, we can say that they are interested in crypto and they're just lying on the news. That's why it's good to track the institutional wallets. Arkham Intel has identified a series of wallets associated with Wisdom Tree's physical Bitcoin ETPs, known as WBIT. According to their findings on social media platform X, WBIT holds a substantial amount of 8,900 Bitcoins, with assets speared. They've essentially spread their assets between 134 wallets, are valued at approximately $579 million. Investment structure and market impact. The design of Wisdom Tree's physical Bitcoin involves a physically backed exchange traded product ETP aimed at providing investors with a straightforward, secure, and cost efficient access to Bitcoin. Unlike a spot Bitcoin ETF, which might use derivatives to mimic Bitcoin's price movements, WBIT entitles its shareholders to a direct stake in Bitcoin it holds. This approach ensures that the product is fully backed by actual Bitcoin and securely stored in cold storage wallets. Moreover, this structure emphasizes transparency and easy accessibility for investors, aligning with the market demands for clear, institutional quality custody solutions. Additionally, the market reacted to the news on this asset management strategy, showcasing the robustness and appeal of physically backed Bitcoin investment vehicles. Wisdom Tree also manages a spot Bitcoin ETF, WBTC, sanctioned earlier this year. Trading data from the block's data dashboard shows that WBTC experienced a significant trading volumes, reaching $31.6 million on April 24th and $10.6 million the following day. The discovery by Arkham Intel highlights the growing sophistication and expansion of cryptocurrency financial products. As these investment vehicles evolve, they continue to attract both seasoned and novice investors, driven by the promise of secure, transparent, and efficient market participations. Which, honestly, it's great when you have major companies like this, major companies like Arkham or Blockchain Association, essentially going after these wallets and finding out who they are and who they belong to, because then we can have a better idea of how much these institutions are actually holding. And if they ever do come out on the news and say, we're not holding crypto assets and so on, or we're not interested in crypto, we can tell if they're lying by tracking their wallets. And a good example of that is Vanguard. Vanguard made multiple statements regarding the crypto space, and Vanguard said, they're not interested in cryptocurrencies. Then they will never get involved in Bitcoin ETFs, for example, because they're too volatile and it's not good for their portfolio and so on. This is what Vanguard came out and said on the news. And some people reacted in the crypto market and said, well, this is bad. And the crypto market started getting hurt slightly by Vanguard's voice of they're not interested in Bitcoin, it's too volatile, ETFs will never do it. But in reality, Vanguard is a majority shareholder of Bitcoin mining institutions alongside BlackRock. So they're a major shareholder of Bitcoin mining institutions, but Bitcoin is too volatile for them to keep in their portfolios, which is a bit odd. But a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of people will just look at it as, oh, Vanguard's not interested, but they are. So that's why it's good when you have people like Arkham who track wallets of these institutions, because I'm inside the corporate sector as well, as I said previously. 99% of things that come out of the corporate sector from these institutions are all absolute full of BS. The 1% is actually truthful that comes out of the corporate sector. 99% is absolute BS. When it comes out, especially from major institutions, don't believe a word they say. Read between the lines. We need to know what time will come, brother, and prepare ourselves. We're going to that Black Swan event. Just keep your honest cold storage wallet. As long as your crypto assets on a cold storage wallet, no matter what world type of event might happen. So based on Bilal's question, Bilal's asking, scenarios of if a Black Swan event happens. I think he's inside all these Twitter spaces where they talk about Black Swan events quite a lot. And Bilal's asking those questions. Well, Bilal or anybody else, that if you're worried about Black Swan events, that internet, that the internet goes away, the wires are cut in the Red Sea, and so on and so on and so on. The best outcome for you, just keep your cryptocurrencies on a cold storage wallet. And no matter what type of worldwide event happens, your cryptocurrencies are pretty much safe on that cold storage wallet. If you do not know the future, you can ask how much you want. Because if XRP is 20, Billow's question here, if XRP is 20 euros by adoption and then one by one scenarios back to $1, and makes me crazy. But Miles said the price will stay almost the same, so that's going to be almost, yes, relatively same. The person who keeps talking about black swan events in the comments, you need to fix your mindset. Keep playing. Keep thinking about black swan and dump, and the world getting destroyed won't get you far. Think positive. Yes, I agree regarding what Chilzone said. Below, you'd be bit more positive, but as long as you keep your assets on cold storage, once you're safe from any world type of event. You can predict a black swan. There are documents and rumors how the future will play out. Based on that, you can talk about message. Yes, that's true as well. Was Brad on BBC News Miles or fake news? Fake news. Smoke and mirrors. Yep. You can guess, but nobody knows 100%. Yes. Miles is an encyclopedia. Wow, incredible. Let's go in. Is Almighty Pay the same as ACH? Almighty Pay is ACH. ACH is their ticker. Almighty Pay is their full name. Miles, when and will coin moves utility be? Why would institutions adapt coin move? Why would institutions use coin move is what you're suggesting. Why would institutions use coin move? Well, because we're providing something that nobody else is going to be providing inside the crypto space, something that I designed, which I won't be revealing until we're ready to launch. But I have, the pattern and so on. So many things are happening regarding CoinMove, my own blockchain startup company. And why would institutions use it? Because the process, as I said previously, the process of buying a property, takes 6 months or so on. You need surveyors, lawyers, accountants, so many things involved in documentations. But if you want to buy a property using CoinMove, regarding the crypto sector, actual properties, not metaverse properties, but actual properties anywhere around the world, you can use CoinMove to purchase that property within seconds, no matter where you are around the world. That's just only because of something I designed, and haven't, obviously opened yet the doors, but obviously the doors are semi-open, is what I would have to say. Do you have an idea when the launch for CoinMove would be? Yes, either this year or beginning of next year. We should be. Well, I'm hoping of a launch on this year, but if not, then next year. The only thing with CoinMove is I'm trying to get the documentations. I don't want any issues with the FCA later on, or the SEC, or the FCC, or the CFTC, and so on and so on and so on, because we're going to be operating worldwide, essentially, and I don't want any issues on that aspects. I don't want to be sued and going into court battles with the SEC later on, or the CFC, or the CFC, or the CFTC, or the FCA, and all these government entities. I don't want to be going to court battles. So obviously, I want the paperwork fully done. So I'm not even operating in a grey area. I'm within the law, no matter what I do. So it's the legal aspects that is holding me back, rather than the launch of the project. So obviously we're still progressing on the website part 2 that's happening, and the application for iOS and Android that we're designing and so on. But also the legal aspects, I want to get them fully done before we do a full launch on CoinMove. And because we're going to be operating on the real estate space and the automotive space, and we're coming in to disrupt both of these market spaces, and we do have a lot of partnerships, a lot of businesses that are working with us. And we don't want to fall any sort of legal implications that could stifle our business right at the gates, for example. So it's the legal aspects. Miles, have you ever thought Miles, have you ever thought of being a news reporter, maybe for Sky News? Maybe for Sky News. No, the only reason I do CMF is not to be a news reporter. The only reason I do the CMF is because I like the idea of helping people inside the crypto space. Is the only reason I do the CMF. And so the reason I do this live show is because I like to make people fully aware of, essentially what's happening inside the crypto space, helping people understand how crypto can benefit them in the long term, and how crypto is actually, for freedom, essentially what it's designed for. And to make people realize that the longer they wait to enter the crypto space, the higher the chance they have of being on CBDCs. So it's more of a self-awareness type of situation than Sky News type of situation. So I'm only trying to help people as much as I can, and that's why I don't charge any money. I've never charged any money. I believe education should always remain free. I've been in this for over a year now, and every help I give is completely free. People direct message me all the time on all types of platforms. I always reply back to them, maybe sometimes late because I do have a very busy schedule. But yeah, I never charge a single penny on every live show that I do every single night, on all the direct messages and so. I just like the idea of helping people, helping them to understand. It brings me joy when I help people. I'm not worried. Here we go. DTCC, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, stated that ETFs with cryptocurrencies won't get collateral value and will face 100% haircut in the US settlements. Miles, can you elaborate on that? I revealed it at the beginning of the live show regarding the DTCC, regarding Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, that stated regarding regarding ETFs with cryptocurrencies won't get collateral. They won't get collateral because they're not approved yet. So with the Ethereum ETF, so Franklin Templeton's ETF, Franklin Templeton's Ethereum ETF is on the DTCC. Now, that doesn't mean it has value. That doesn't mean it's green lighted to launch. What that means is it's passed the necessary checks to get on that. But it still needs a massive green light from the SEC before it can have any sort of value entering it, is what it means. I am not worried, brother. I have everything on cold wallets. If it's more I ask about the scenarios who can play out. Well, either one scenario that plays out, as long as you're on a cold storage wallet, no scenario will hurt you. Regarding keeping your crypto assets safe, as long as you're on a cold storage wallet, any scenario can play out, any outcome can play out, black swan, whatever outcome wants to play out. As long as your assets on a cold storage wallet and not stored on hot wallets and exchanges, you're pretty much safe from anything that could happen, except compromisation from within of the cold storage wallet. Sky News is all fake news. Only tell you what you want to hear. Miles, now you know why I call you professor. We like students. Keep asking questions. Like students asking questions. Is that why you call me Professor Miles? Miles reminds me of Sir Winston Churchill. Miles reminds me of Sir Winston Churchill. Let's go. President Miles. President Miles. Okay, now moving on to the next news of today's live show. The next news to go through is regarding this. Actually, well, there's actually quite a bit to still go, but we'll go through this. So one thing we talked about essentially is CBDCs. There's the good side and bad side of crypto. The bad side is CBDCs. The good side of crypto is crypto, essentially. But the one thing we talked about is, too much power for one person is bad inside the government, for example. For example, the United Kingdom coming out yesterday. I talked about it yesterday regarding the United Kingdom coming out with a regulation where they can seize and freeze your assets, and how the police in the UK will now have a crypto advisor with them. And if you have a wallet being used for illicit activities, they will take your crypto wallets with them and transfer it to a police cryptocurrency wallet account. Regarding the United Kingdom is what we talked about yesterday on the live show, which is the recent news that came out. And I said the wrong power, that's too much power for one person to decide, because they can abuse that power, because they have to guess who's using it for illicit activities and who isn't. And if it's in the wrong person's hands regarding a police officer, he can abuse that power and say, I believe you're using it for illicit activities. And how it works is they take your crypto assets from you first, and then they decide if it's being used for illicit activities or not. And it takes 6 months before you see your crypto assets. So in the hands of the wrong person, any sort of power is wrong. And why I mentioned that, and something that we talked about previously as well, and yesterday's live show when the news came out again on the United Kingdom, is this. Head of China's CBDC project under investigation for alleged misconduct. So a guy that was part of the team, the major team, of designing China's CBDC and pretty much social credit systems. So a person that was in charge of designing CBDCs in China and social credit system wallets in China is now being looked into for misconduct and abuse of power. That's not what you want to hear from a guy that was helping to design CBDCs and social credit systems on now being looked into for misconduct for abusing his power. Because the whole point of a CBDC, an essential social credit system, is to keep people safe, to make sure people spend their money correctly and buy vegetables instead of alcohol and tobacco and so on. That's how you get -1 plus 1. It's already going on in China. Study test that was 1,400 people. And it was connected to a social credit system, and CBDC wallets were connected together. It was a test study. If you buy vegetables, it's +1. If you buy alcohol, it's -1, and so on. And at the end of the test, everybody loved it. The 1,400 people, most likely they're brain dead, but they love the idea of being controlled, of where to sit, stand, eat, and buy and talk. Now, the person that was in charge of these designs of CBDCs and so on has abused his power. It's something that we saw coming, essentially. So Yak Qin, a key figure in China's central bank digital currency CBDC project, is currently under investigation for suspected violations of law and discipline. Qin played a significant role in leading the research efforts at the People's Bank of China, which is essentially their central bank, the People's Bank of China, to develop and issue the digital yuan. But he left the central bank in 2018 and has been working at the Chinese Securities Regulatory Commission. So details about the allegations against Qin have not been disclosed. His involvements in CBDC project had a notable influence not only within China but also globally. That is correct. Because of China, everybody used China as an example to go inside CBDCs essentially. So his involvements in CBDC projects had a notable influence not only within China but also globally, as other major jurisdictions have been exploring central bank issued digital currencies in response to China's initiatives. The investigation into Quan's alleged wrongdoings comes at a time when China is making significant progress in the implementation and testing of its digital yuan, also known as the Digital Currency Electronic Payment DCEP system. The disciplinary review and supervision of the investigation are being conducted by the Discipline Inspection and Surveillance Team of the State Commission for Discipline Inspections at the Chinese Securities Regulatory Commission, as well as the Supervisory Committee of Shaohui City and multiple other provinces in China. Qin's current situation raises questions and concerns about the future developments of China's CBDC and its potential impact on the global landscape of central bank issued digital currencies. As the creator of China's CBDC and a prominent pro-blockchain official in the country, Tsai Qin investigation has attracted attention both domestically and internationally. With 130 countries currently exploring CBDCs, 130 countries currently exploring CBDCs, and 19 G20 countries in advanced stages of essentially development of CBDCs, the global interest in digital currencies is growing. While China has fully launched a CBDC, other countries, including the United States, are still in the process of developing their own digital currencies. China's progress in regulating cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance is also a key aspect of its digital currency initiatives. With the People's Bank of China emphasizing the need for effective regulations and coordinations among different countries. In its latest financial stability report, the People's Bank of China addressed issues related to cryptocurrency regulation and decentralized finance, highlighting essentially the importance of joint efforts by countries to regulate the industry effectively. Despite banning virtually all crypto transactions and cryptocurrency mining in mainland China remains a major crypto mining hub. Still, the country is set to revise its anti-money laundering laws to address the risks associated with virtual assets, with a focus on combating money laundering involving virtual assets. Legal scholars have indicated that the proposed amendments aims to strengthen essentially the measures against money launderings in digital asset space. The global landscape of central bank issued digital currencies is evolving rapidly, with China at the forefront of these developments. It is true, everybody is using China as a playground regarding launching their own CBDCs, definitely. Regarding their own CBDC projects, there are uncertainties about the future of digital currencies and its potential impact on the broader financial ecosystem. As more countries explore the possibilities of issuing their own digital currencies, regulatory challenges and coordination efforts will become increasingly important. China's proactive stance on regulating cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance reflects its commitment to maintaining financial stability while embracing innovation in the digital asset space. So yeah, a guy that was in charge of social credit systems and CBDC wallets in China is being investigated for pretty much abusing his power. That's the last thing you want to hear regarding someone that designed a system like that, because that's already too much power for anybody, regarding even the Chinese government if it's a group of people. But a person that designed that system is being looked into for abuse of power. This could end quite bad later on. And it's the same scenario with the UK scenario. You know, the UK police going around with a crypto advisor now as well. The UK police are going to have crypto advisors with them. And if they believe you're using your crypto assets for illicit activities, they will seize your crypto assets from you and they will decide if you're using the illicit activities or not, which is moronic to think about it. And in the hands of the wrong person, they can abuse their power and just say, "Yep, I believe he's using the illicit activities," and there's no questions asked. They can seize your crypto assets. I'm not saying everybody's going to abuse their power, but some people do abuse their power. There'll probably be a police officer there who won't abuse their power, but there might be some there who will abuse their power, is what I am trying to say. Not everybody, some. Who is the one country that's not from the G20? Who's the one? Oh, it's the United States. They haven't declared their paperwork regarding what stage they're at on CBDCs. North Korea, Iran. No, North Korea and Iran are not in the G20. They were never in the G20. The G20 is a mix of essentially 20 countries, or the EU as one whole one. But what it means is regarding the United States, there's a slow progress on them. Well, according to what the paperwork they have, the United States is very hush-hush. They're very quiet on moving around. Now, let's see what's inside the comment section before we get to the next news of tonight's live show. By the way, if you're enjoying this live show and you're watching it for the first time ever, drop a follow, drop a like. Tune into it every single time, every single night. If you have any questions, put it down inside the comment sections. We are live on YouTube and X at the same time. So, many thanks. No problem, Ian. Anytime. Hey, Miles, could you give me your thoughts on Kronos? My thoughts on Kronos. So, Crypto.com's token, good. Crypto.com has the regulations it needs going forward, and I do believe as time goes by, Kronos could do well, potentially very well, as time goes by. Not overnight in any sort of a way, as time goes by. Why are hit wallets bad? Hot wallets. Why are hot wallets bad? If there's a Black Swan event, that means no internet. Hackers can't hack. Maybe because hot wallets also operate on the internet, so maybe their servers get damaged. Mars, is it okay to even keep small amounts of cold wallets, as I have quite a few on Coinbase? Mars, is it okay to even keep small amounts on cold wallets? Yeah, of course. It's always safe to keep it on cold wallets rather than exchanges. And on Crypto.com. It's better to keep it on cold wallets. Only if they can find my cold wallet. Only if they can find my cold wallet. Is ACH good to keep long term? Yes, I do believe ACH is definitely good for long term. ACH has multiple licensings. ACH is an old project, but it doesn't matter. As I said previously, and I'm not saying you asked this question, but a lot of people do refer it to this. So a lot of people say, oh, well, this is an old project and this is a new project. And it's got nothing to do with who is old, who is new, who is fast, who is cheap, and regarding crypto assets, because a lot of people will come and say, well, CAS, I'm not saying CAS, again, is a bad project. I hold CAS myself. So the only reason I'm using it as an analogy is because of this. A lot of people would say, oh, well, this crypto project is faster and cheaper. Of course, it's better than, anything else. Or this project is faster than XRP, or this project is faster than XLM or XDC, and so on and so on. And it doesn't really matter who's faster, who's cheaper, and, who's old and who's new inside the crypto space. It's about adoption. Who has the most amount of adoption is all that matters. Because the ideology of this is the fastest crypto project on transaction processes, therefore it's the best, but it has zero partnerships. It's really not, because Ethereum is slow and expensive and has way more adoption than CAS can ever dream of in its entire lifetime. I'm not saying CAS again is a bad project. It's just an analogy I'm using. So again, it's not about who's the fastest, who's the cheapest, who's the slowest, or who's the most expensive, and so on and so on, or who's the oldest and who's the newest. Because I see this happening sometimes inside the crypto space where people go, oh, this project is old, nobody cares about it, this project is new. Nothing to do with that. Look at their partnerships, look at their contracts. Genuine partnerships, genuine PDF documentation contracts is what you need to be looking at. Okay? Because if there's an old crypto project that has 20 major partnerships, contracted partnerships, genuine ones that they're developing on, that is major. Doesn't matter if it's old or not. They're developing. There could be a new crypto project, zero partnerships, but they claim to do tokenizations and they're super fast and so on and so on. Nobody cares. Do you know why I say nobody cares? Because none of the institutions care. There's not a single institution that cares about that project. If they did, they would be partners with it. So, because when I mention ACH, some people say, oh, it's too old and so on. it has more licensings and more contracts essentially than the majority of these projects. ACH is an incredible project with an incredible future ahead of itself, especially in the market narrative we are in right now regarding institutions coming inside the field day by day, regarding banks joining the crypto space, regarding regulations coming inside the crypto space. Everybody talks about market narratives. Well, we're in one, and the market narrative is regulations, banks, and institutions. So take a pick. So essentially, take a guess on what you think, which crypto projects are going to have the money entering into them, regarding the market narrative being regulations, banks, and institutions. What crypto projects do you think have the better chance going forward? ACH, definitely on that list. And again, it's not about who's fast, who's slow, and who's that, and who's this. It's about contracts. Who's got the better partnerships? Who's got the highest rate of adoption? Because the ideology of this one's faster doesn't make sense. Because look at Ethereum. Slow, incredibly slow. Expensive, incredibly expensive sometimes. Adoption, through the roof. Miles, you're making my brain hurt with all this information. So I'll be there. Minus 10 minutes for me. So ACH, yes. Lena, definitely. Miles, how can they seize your crypto if they don't give them the seed phrase? If you don't give them the seed phrase, I think they'll somehow get it out of you. Thanks, Miles. I didn't think of the US. No problem. Shelly, anytime. Stop it, Miles. Police and crypto, they will need to go back to school first. Hey, Miles, your thoughts on Kronos? Kronos, good. Long term will do well. Crypto.com, Kronos will do well in the long term. Should have known. They are always keeping their cards close to their chest, not revealing. Yep. Is it true about Weasel Gensler holding XRP? And if so, what do you think about it? No, speculation regarding Gary Gensler holding XRP. Just pure speculation. I may have missed your reply, Miles. Was Brad on BBC News? No. Recently? No, I don't think so. Are you still bullish on ADA? It's on my list. And I do believe it has a future. The developers of ADA are doing good things on it. USA or silent on CBDCs. I see probably Sleepy Joe needs to wake up. BitGet and Amici Pay, ACH, are partnered. You can transfer fiat and ACH. Yep. $75 million, or you must sell all of your crypto and never trade crypto again. Oh, except the question is, take $75 million, or you must sell all your crypto. So $75 million, or sell all your crypto and never trade crypto again. Well, that's going to be difficult. Okay, that's a good question. Before I answer it, I actually want to see other people's. I want to see what other people's answers are going to be, because it's actually a good question. Here's the thing. So Messi asked a good question. I'm not going to give you my answer. I'm going to give you my answer after what everybody's response is. Okay. Here's Messi's question. You take $75 million now, and you sell all of your crypto assets, and you never trade crypto again, and you're not allowed to trade crypto again. Would you take that offer? And you can't cheat. Okay, if you take that offer, you can't cheat. Everybody put your responses inside the comment section. Take $75 million and sell all of your crypto assets and never trade crypto again. What's your answer? Are you taking the $75 million and selling your crypto? Or are you keeping your crypto assets and not going for that $75 million? What is your answer? I'm not going to answer it. I want to see what everyone's answer is first, and then I'll explain why I didn't answer it. You can't ever trade crypto again, remember. So Billo said 75 million. To be honest, you would take the 75 million. Yes, Iman said yes, I make it $1 billion of it. Okay, Billo said he'll flip it into $1 billion. Chozone said I would 100%. Vibe said yes. Waterboard, you to get your seed from you. No, I wouldn't. Camel said, okay, Camel, don't explain why. Camel, don't explain why. So Camel said he won't do it. Billo said he will do it. Vibe said she would do it. Chozone said he would do it. If anybody says no, don't explain why. Take the 75 million. Dennis said they'll take the 75 million. It depends on how much crypto people own. No, it's just in general. I can run a several businesses with 70 million. So Chosen saying I could do several business with crypto. Yep. My brother, I hope nothing but meme coins. Peep, Pepe's steady coin, hamster coin. Do you think the government will take my crypto? I have millions of them. No, you're perfectly fine. Don't worry. I will take, well, you never know, but you're good. I will take 75 million now. I'm 65, so don't have much time. 75 million could set me and my grandson up nicely. Yes, I will have money for my kids to buy crypto. No, you can't cheat. Carol, no cheating. You can't touch us. So your money cannot go towards crypto. The 75 million cannot go towards crypto. My brother, I hold nothing but meme coins. That's bad. Hey, bro, why are you only holding crypto? Why are you only holding meme coins? That's very bad. You should be holding legitimate projects. No thanks. George said no thanks. That's good. George, don't explain why. 75 million won't give you freedom and it will be. See, Ginos, why did you explain? No, I don't. You need it. Um, at my age, yes. I wouldn't. No. Carrie said no. Abdul said yes. Bilal, no, never. I'm keeping it as if I can make more with all that incoming passive income. Keep crypto. Oops, I explained no. Yes, Ginos, I said don't explain no. Freedom Forever said no. Oh, sorry, too late. Just buy 100 properties and get paid on daily basis, what Chosen said. If you own 10k XRP, you will say yes. If you own 200k, you will say no. That's not even why I would say no. As you said, cryptocurrency is your only way to freedom, so I will definitely deny that offer. See, Bilal realized, Bilal, first you said you would take the 75 million, and now you're saying, you remember me saying crypto is your ticket to freedom and CBDCs are not. Okay, now you would say you would skip the 75 million. My brother, I hold millions of meme coins, Pepe. The government won't be going, look, they're going to be very picky and choosy regarding who's holding, who's doing illicit activities. There's a very low chance April they'll think you're doing illicit activities because you're not doing illicit activities. That's why. So no, they won't be coming after you. I will, but you don't want to be holding too many meme coins at all. You want to be good for legitimate projects. I will take it, even if it is £5, £10 a week or month or so on. You want to be entered those. I will take it and distribute it among my family members and tell them to buy crypto with it. No, Lena, that money cannot go towards crypto. The money cannot go towards crypto. Nobody cheat. Thomas, you're doing good to see you as well. It can't go towards crypto, but you could also get into an IPO of Ripple, the company. You could, but then again, your payments later on are still going to be on what? Hello again, beautiful people. Thomas, good to see you. Why you doing? Thank you, Miles. You're an amazing person doing this for free. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go XRP then. I already know your explanation. And yes, I will be forever in crypto. They would change it all to CBDCs, exactly. And what is happening with that pending lawsuit towards Ethereum? It's still pending for the time being. Excuse that, I explained it, brother. Yep, delay in the chat, that's why. Miles says no. I say no, definitely no. Yes, that first guess was pure emotional, but when you think carefully, you realize that we are holding way more than $75 million of freedom. And there's a bigger picture as well. If there were to be a major lawsuit towards Ethereum, and that would have to increase the value of XDC. Yes, but also other assets as well. This is Got Your Clover, my brother. I'm joking. I'm using YouTube channel instead of TikTok. Abel, let's go. Got Your Clothing, how you doing? Good to see you as well. And also, now this is the reason why I said no. Okay, it doesn't look. I wouldn't accept 75 million and sell my crypto assets. A lot of people will say, oh, you're crazy. How could you not accept $75 million and sell your cryptocurrencies? How does that make sense? The reason why I would never accept $75 million and sell all my cryptocurrencies and never touch crypto again, and that money cannot go towards crypto in general, is what the question is. I would never take the $75 million because, as I said previously, one of my father's quotes were, don't think about today, think about tomorrow. Anybody remember me saying that, of my father's quote? Don't think about today, think about tomorrow. Whatever you do today is going to impact you tomorrow. So let's say you take the $75 million and you can never buy crypto again. You have to sell your crypto assets, and that money cannot go towards crypto. That money eventually will turn into CBDCs. It doesn't matter if you take the $75 million and buy 100 properties. It doesn't matter if you buy 100 businesses, because the income you're going to be earning from those businesses are going to be CBDC later on. Because the question is, you take $75 million, sell your crypto assets, okay? and you can never, that money can never go towards crypto in general. So your money later on turns into CBDCs, which becomes controllable, becomes seizable. So you can seize your money, they can control your money, essentially put expiry dates, they do whatever they want with your CBDC money. So it's a bad bet. I would never take it. As I always said, just think about what my father said. Don't think about today, think about tomorrow. Whatever you do today is going to impact you tomorrow. And that's why I said no. And that's why I said, whoever says no to that question, don't mention why. Just write no. If it's a yes, write yes. You will take the $75 million. And the ones I said, if you're going to say no, don't mention why. But then Genius revealed the CBDC scenario, which is, yeah, it's that. It's CBDCs. Whatever you do, you could buy 100 properties, you could buy 100 businesses. Your money eventually will be CBDCs because you can never touch crypto again. So why would you do that? So some people said yes. You need to think more smart. The people that said yes, they will take the 75 million. I know it's a hypothetical, scenario, but in general, what I'm trying to say is be more smart. Don't make quick reactions. Think about it. When you're asked the question, even though it's hypothetical, never going to happen, no one's going to offer you $75 million and say sell your crypto. But in general, any other questions that come about, okay? Any other questions that come about, don't be emotional, especially inside of the market space, especially involving money. Never be emotional when it comes towards money. Take a second, think about it. Think about if you do this, how, what will happen next? Or my father's other quote, which Ian has just put inside the comment section, which was, don't look at the tip of your nose, look further, is what my father tells me as well. Don't look at the tip of your nose, look further. So if you look here, it's a small picture you're getting. If you look further, you essentially get a bigger picture of what's going on. So never involve emotions. Everybody who said yes was impulse on emotion. Yes, 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 that was impulse on emotion. Stop getting your emotions involved. Anything involving money, keep your emotions out of it. Good question to see who impulse reacts on emotion and who thinks about the question. The people who said no thought about the question. The people who said yes, they said yes on emotions. Stop thinking about emotions. Good test. I should not even take 500 millions if I can never enter crypto space for real. Call me crazy what you want. Yeah. Mouse, you can grab it and buy gold. You can, but then how are you expecting to use that gold? Gold is not legal tender technically. I can't, go to a Mercedes dealership and give them gold. That's not how it works. Gold is not really a legal tender. I can't, if I want to buy a vehicle, I can't go to a Mercedes dealership and say I have a bar of gold. Can you sell me a car? They would think I'm crazy and try to pass me out the shop. So you can't really use gold as legal tender technically either. Depends on the jurisdiction. Maybe you could, but in majority of jurisdictions you can't technically use gold as legal tender. A lot of people won't, I can't walk into Foxtons, for example. Imagine me walking into a major establishment, real estate firm, and saying, I want to buy this property. Here's some gold bars. They look at me like I'm crazy. So you would need either fiat or a cryptocurrency that's legal tender. And regarding buying gold, and that's the biggest issue with gold as well. Later on, a lot of people don't realize that if you're buying too much gold, it's the getting rid part of it. Going into a digital world, if you do have gold, you might want to be selling it for crypto rather than CBDCs in the gold shops. Miles, I took the Fifth Amendment. Funky Brother took the Fifth Amendment. Amy Winehouse, no. Amy Winehouse, no. I don't even have to think about it. Lol. Your father is a great man. Always tell him that you love him. My father passed away when I was young, and I wish I could have told him many things. Life is short, brother. Facts. Would you refuse gold? Would I refuse gold? If I could get rid of it later on for cryptocurrencies, then I wouldn't refuse it. But the cash one, yeah. Give them some extra gold. Give them some extra gold. No, but genuinely, you can't walk into a Mercedes dealership. I can't walk into a Mercedes dealership and say, I want to buy that new G-Wagon. Here's a gold bar. It can't be accepted. If you want to buy a car, first of all, it has to be on your card. They don't accept cash. Any sort of dealership doesn't even accept cash. Not private dealerships, the ones that, the actual dealership itself, they don't accept cash either. They accept cash up to a certain limit. After that, it has to be on card. And you think you can buy a gold to use Mercedes Benz? Same JP, Ticket to Freedom. Yep. Yeah, next time don't think of emotions. Now, we're also going to be talking about this, which is relatable to Section 702. So, relatable to Section 702. And if you wonder what Section 702 is, essentially it's something that was reinstated inside the United States on exactly the same day Bitcoin's halving was. The exact same day Bitcoin halving was a law that was passed, was reauthorized inside the United States. So when everybody was too distracted and focused on Bitcoin halving, Section 702 was passed inside of the United States, which is essentially every single major establishment inside the United States, every single company becomes a spy company for the United States on spying on the public, is what was passed. And it's a government entity of the NSA, the CIA, FBI, and pretty much everybody rolled into one group called the FIDIC something, is what they were calling themselves, essentially. So that was Section 702, and it passed already, it's reauthorized, and so on. Now, this is what's happening right now. Sam Altman, obviously we know who that is, OpenAI situation. Sam Altman, Satya and Nadella join high-powered AI staff board for Homeland Security. OpenAI is some sort of a way working now. It's slightly relatable to Section 702. The US Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has enlisted a broad slate of AI industry leaders to establish the Artificial Intelligence Safety and Security Board. The agency announced itself. The DHS says the new body will play a crucial role in harnessing artificial intelligence for the protection of vital US infrastructure and the mitigate of AI-powered threats. Artificial intelligence and transformative technology that can advance our national interest in unprecedented ways, Homeland Security Secretary said in a prepared statement. At the same time, it presents a real risk that we can mitigate by adapting best practices and talking essentially about other studies. Concrete actions. The board will be led by Marcus and includes several high-profile AI executives, including OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Microsoft Chairman and CEO Satya Nadella, Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai. And again, this is relatable to Section 702 because all these major tech firms have now went under Section 702 on full spy mode on everything you do. And by the way, Section 702 grants the government no warrants needed to spy on you, okay? There is no warrants needed to spy on you anymore because of Section 702. And it's something that Snowden, if you don't know who Snowden is, it's a guy that used to work for the NSA who escaped essentially and went to Hong Kong and revealed to the whole world at the same time when Obama was in power of the United States that the United States is spying on everybody through everything, through their phones, through their cameras, through their laptops, spying on everybody 24/7, no warrants needed, essentially. So he flew over to Hong Kong and revealed this to the whole news, and that was when Obama was in power. This is real. And then he went to Moscow airport and tried to get a residency in any sort of country, and no country would accept him. So now he resides in Moscow. Now he even tweeted out saying when Section 702 was going to be implemented that it's pretty much the end game. Everybody's pretty much done for if Section 702 gets reinstated because it's full spy mode on everybody, on everything you do. No warrant needed. And then the Section 702 was reauthorized when everybody was focused on the Bitcoin halving. Exactly the same timing when everybody was focused on the Bitcoin halving was when Section 702 was essentially being reauthorized. So, and they said every tech firm essentially is going to become a spyware. The board will be led, and you can see it with the people that are coming in. Homeland Security is getting a group of people coming in as well. So, Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, is going to be there. Microsoft's chairman is going to be there. Google CEO is going to be there, working with Homeland Security. All these people are going to be working with Homeland Security now. The co-founder and CEO of Nevada is going to be there. The president the president of Nevada is going to be there. So many other tech firm CEOs and chairmen are now going to be working with Homeland Security. This was what was said. I am grateful that such accomplishment leaders are dedicating their time and expertise to the board to help ensure our nation's critical infrastructure, the vital service upon which Americans rely every day, effectively guards against the risk and realizes the enormous potential of this transformative technology. AI technology is capable of offering immense benefits to society if developed responsibly, which is why we've advocated for efforts to test the safety of our frontier AI systems to mitigate potential risks. He goes on to say, in a concrete statement, we're proud to contribute to the studying and the implementations of AI on protecting critical infrastructures with other leaders in the public and private sectors. Safe AI development is paramount to securing infrastructure that powers American society. And we believe the formation of this board is a positive step forward in strengthening US national security, he continued. Artificial intelligence is the most transformative technology of our time, and we must ensure it is developed safely and responsibly, said Microsoft. Microsoft is honored to participate in this important effort and looks forward to sharing both our learnings to date, essentially sharing data. Okay, in simple words, our learnings to date, sharing data, and our plans going forward. Continue going forward, sharing data. Others joining the AI Safety and Security Board include Amazon Web Services CEO Adam, IBM Chairman and CEO, Stanford Human-Centered AI Institution Co-Director, and Maya Wiley, President of CEO of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. I mean, the list of organizations of chairmen and CEOs, and then at the end we have this conference with the Civil and Human Rights. The CEO of Leadership Conference on Civil Rights, on Civil and Human Rights is going to be there as well. I wonder why. I'm honored to join this group of leaders to steward this world, changing technology responsibly and in a human-centered way, said Lee. Ultimately, AI is a tool, a potent tool, and it must be developed and applied with an understanding of how it will impact the individual community and society at large. The board will hold its first quarterly meeting in early May, according to the DHS, Homeland Security essentially, and will be immediately tasked with providing the security recommendations to ensure that safety adoption of AI technology in essential services. The objective is to create a forum for DHS, the critical infrastructure community, and the AI leaders to exchange information on AI-related security risks. The rapid intrusion of artificial intelligence into mainstream in 2023 left global leaders scrambling to develop regulations that deal with new technology back then. In January, the World Economic Forum, WEF, counted artificial intelligence and quantum computing among a list of the most urgent global risks. Following issuing an executive order back in October 2023, the Biden administration announced the launch of the U.S. AI Safety Institution Consortium, the AISIC organization, which includes many of the names joining DHS initiative. In addition to national security concerns, AI developers, including Google, Meta, and OpenAI, on Tuesday joined with the non-profit organizations Thorn and All Tech is Human, pledging to enforce guardrails around their respective AI models to stop them from being used to create some other illicit activities as well. But in general, all of these tech firms are now working with Homeland Security. Now, before, none of these tech firms were interested in working with Homeland Security. Obviously, now we have Section 702 And everybody signed up all of a sudden. Chairmen and CEOs from Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, Meta, Nevada, Human Rights Organization. I mean, where do you think it's going to be going? IBM. I mean, the list goes on. The amount of companies that signed up now with Homeland Security, absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, no warrants needed. Section 702, no warrants needed. They can listen to you full time. No warrants needed whatsoever. And everybody could go to X and essentially see Snowden's tweet. Snowden made a tweet about this. He warned everyone about this happening regarding Section 702. Snowden warned everyone on X. And everybody was focused on the Bitcoin halving at the exact same time. And it's a digital bill. Okay, Section 702 was reinstated because we're going into this digital era now. And not a single person inside the crypto space was talking about Section 702, except me. But nobody paid. Well, you know, the people that tuned in to this live show every single night on X and live, obviously you know about Section 702. Outside of this live show, outside of the CMF live show, the majority of people don't know about Section 702. They didn't even know it reinstated essentially alongside the Bitcoin halving. Inform please 10K above. Hi Miles, the CMF. How you doing, Emma? Good to see Emma. Snowden warned us about it. Yes, that is true. Might be less now. Yeah, the Twilight Zone. USA, United Social States of America. I was just checking you're not a bot. What is old one out? As if we're not paranoid enough already, Section 702 will drive us doubly. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We better not talk to Alexa anymore. No more selfies, is what Funky Bud said. Good morning, Miles, and all same. Thank you for the news. See everyone tomorrow. JPC tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. It's nuts. Yeah. Good night, not morning. JPC tomorrow, but at the same time as usual. So we have reached the endings of this live show as well. I just want to say honestly, if you're watching this live show for the first time ever and you enjoyed this live show, you can tune into this live show every single night on X Live or YouTube Live, and we're live on both of them at the exact same time. And you can communicate with people inside the comment section with YouTube and live and with X at the same time. The comment section is mixed, so it's YouTube comment section and X comment section. They're all mixed together, so you can talk to people from two different platforms on one platform. And if you enjoyed this live show, you can tune into it every single night. This was episode 40 of the CMF live show, and I used to do this live show for over a year. I've done this live show for over a year now. Over a year I've been doing this live show, but I used to do it on TikTok, and because I was talking about CBDCs, I got banned on TikTok Live. So now we do it on X and YouTube. And because of Elon Musk, we have freedom of speech, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Elon Musk, for freedom of speech. And if you're enjoying this live show and you're watching it for the first time, definitely tune into this live show every single night. I will always be informing you on everything that's going to be happening around the world and things that you should be fully aware of, especially going into a digital world, regarding cryptocurrencies, regarding CBDCs, and regarding politics, as in rules and regulations. Things that you should be fully aware of, that you're not fully aware of, and most people aren't. So, if you enjoyed this live show, you're watching it for the first time, drop a follow. If you're watching on X, drop a follow. Tune into it tomorrow, same timing as usual. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and tune in tomorrow same time as usual as well. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's been tapping on the screen on X, and thank you so much to everybody that's been tapping on the screen on YouTube as well. And genuinely meaning thank you so much to every single one of you for tuning in. And now I'm going to be doing the outro of this live show, which is CMF. Thank you so much to, and we do also have a Telegram group as if anybody wants to join, and it's free, whatever I do. And this live show starts 11:25 p.m. every single night. So, CMF, thank you so much to every single one of you that tunes in every single night and tunes in for this live show, engages in the comment sections, helps out people inside the comment sections and ask questions, and for tapping on the screen on X. And thank you so much for every single one of you that's been tapping on the screen on YouTube as well. Thanks so much to every single one of you that's been retweeting this live show. I will see all of you tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. Let me just go inside the conversation. I think a lot of people saying goodbye for tomorrow. Bing and Alphabet made billions this year on percentage, Miles. Yes, they did. Good night, Miles. The CMF coin see tomorrow sometimes usual. Damn, I came in so late. Yes, Thompson. Then we're tuning tomorrow sometimes usual. Thank you, Miles. Respect. Let's go. Thank you, brother, for another wonderful night. See you tomorrow night. Thank you, brother. See you tomorrow same time as usual. See all students tomorrow night. I wish I was in attendance earlier. Let's go, Thomas. Good night, Miles, and all CMF. Iman, see you tomorrow same time as usual. Thank you loads. Lena, see you tomorrow same time as usual as well. Thanks again, everyone. Take care. Thomas, see you tomorrow by the same time as usual. Thanks again, Scott. Scott, see you tomorrow same time as usual. Thomas, see you tomorrow by the same time as usual. Thank you, Miles. I really appreciate all this hard work you put in just to help all of us. Good night and good day and good night all. CMF, let's go, Shelly. See you tomorrow same time as usual as well. 26,982 likes and 301 watching. Let's go, Lena. Lena, thank you so much. Genuinely mean it. Thank you so much for 26,982 likes. Honestly, Lena, thank you so much for all that amount of likes because it helps to spread the live show next. So thank you so much, Lena, for that. I will see everybody tomorrow. Same timing as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you are around the world. If you want to tune into this live show, drop a follow, drop a like, and tune into it every single night on X Live and YouTube Live at the exact same time. Oh, look, it's the fun from Spy Kids. Oh, look, it's the... Okay, I mean... Oh, look, somebody got blocked. Good night, Mouse and family. Great live. Many thanks. Ian, let's go. It's been an amazing night. Thanks, everyone. XLP then. Let's go. See you tomorrow as usual. Great live show. Thank you, my brother. You're the best. Abel, thank you so much for the cameras as well. See you tomorrow as usual. Thanks, Messi. See you tomorrow as usual. Good night, Miles and CMF. Great live. Friend forever. See you tomorrow as usual. You are the GOAT. Let's go, Scott. Thank you so much for the cameras as well. I agree with Shelly. Let's go. Thanks, Miles, as always. Solomon, see you tomorrow as usual. Thank you, Lena. Let's go. Great. Another great live. Thanks, Miles. JR, let's go. See you tomorrow as usual. I'll see everybody tomorrow, same time as usual. Everybody have a great day or a good night, depending on where you're around the world. CMF. See you tomorrow, same time as usual.